Hello folks, hope you're all doing well. It is cold, it is wet, it is windy here in Scotland on Sunday morning, but fear not, things are hotting up in the garden because we've got a thing, and we've got a hot bin, and I'm so excited to have it because I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant. And I've been talking about these for probably at least a month now and thinking about getting one because it's a little bit of an investment, but I think long term absolutely worth it. And the idea sort of first came, I remember seeing Steve with one, and Steve had one and he was getting on great with it, and now JB's got it and JB's cracking on with it, and I thought I could do with one of them. And I went to the garden centre about a month ago, and I had to buy some compost to do a project in the allotment, and I thought, how blooming much is this compost these days? And it was like 3 bags, and it wasn't just the fact that the bags were more expensive, it was the fact they had shrunk. So you were getting less for your money, so it's shrinkflation, and it's a bit of a con. So they charge you the same amount of money and you get less. So I'm getting on the making your own compost bandwagon. So we've got the hot bin here that we will unbox in just a minute. And I've got my ingredients here because there's a bit of a technique to getting it started. And full credit to HotBin themselves as well. They've got a YouTube channel. I will link it down below in the description. Go and see it. There's some brilliant videos on there all about how to start it up, how to get it going. I've been watching them over the last couple of days to see how to get it started, and you might be wondering what this is on the top, so let's get down to business with this. So there's loads of different makes and models of hot bin. This one here is a 100 litre, or it's called a mini. Now I could have gone for any of them, and I went for the mini because you've got to feed them a lot, and I'm a very busy guy sometimes, and I was just a bit worried if you ever get one of the massive ones, the 200 or the 400 litre ones, that I'm just going to struggle with it a bit. And you see this, there's loads of videos out there with the big ones, so I thought, let's get the little one. Let's show people what can be done with this and see if we can make 100 litres of compost out of it. Because those 3 bags that I got from the garden centre, that's pretty much 100 litres of compost. So let's try and do a like for like. And this bit here, you can order it with different stuff. I've ordered it with this, which is a plinth, and I unboxed this in the house because I didn't see you'd really want to see me unboxing the plinth. It's just a little stand that it stands on, and I'll come to the reason why in a bit as to why I've ordered the plinth with this. But it does say front on there, which is incredibly helpful, so I know which way to put it. And it's just going to sit over here in front of the shed there at the bottom of this is the bottom of the gardens. The house is all the way over there. The garden's here. Now, I am going to use the compost that comes out of this primarily for the allotment, but I'm going to keep the hot bin in the garden because it needs to be fed, needs to be looked after, so it's easier for me to manage it in the garden than it is going to the allotment, doing the stuff, coming back. So here, especially during the winter when maybe it's not there as much, having it here, so much more convenient. When the compost's ready, dig it out, chuck it in the bags, take it up the road. I've got a traditional cold composting bin over here. I don't know if you can maybe just see it off the camera there or not. What is in there is actually compost. So when I've got the greenhouse is right behind you there. When I've tipped out seedlings, moved them on, stuff like that, that is just spent compost that's in there. Brilliant for taking up the allotment again, digging into beds, mulching, all that sort of good stuff. Anyway, let's get on with the main event. I'm going to pop this down, we'll get sorted with this, and we'll start unboxing. So first things first, delivery spot on. I ordered it last Sunday night, so you know there's going to be nobody in the office or in the places on a Sunday night doing anything. Order was processed straight away, through it goes. Wednesday it was delivered, so dead quick, and it was delivered by DPD. You know, of all the delivery companies, you see bad things about some of them. DPD, certainly around my area, DPD are pretty reliable. They're pretty good. It is nicely packaged. It is in this lovely box, handled with care, and right at the very bottom of the box, you might not be able to see it just down here, it says this box is compostable, which is brilliant because we can actually use the box that it came in to make the compost with. So there's a good start. I'm trying to get into it. Like I say, it is well packaged, and that's a good thing. Let me just, it does say on the front of the box, right, do not cut with a knife, and you can see why, because behind the sellotape the bin is right here, and it's made out of sort of insulated polystyrene kind of stuff. So really you don't want to be cutting that, do you? Because if you come down here with a knife, you're going to slice into that, and that is not a good start to your hot bin. Right, let's see if I can shuffle it out of the box. And speaking of not hitting things with a knife on you, let me put the scissors down. That'd be a good start. But look, here it comes. Right, let me get this out, this beauty out of here. And if you bear with me a second, I will remove. See, the best thing about getting deliveries for an allotment or garden is the cardboard, because you use the cardboard for all sorts of other stuff, but we'll just pop it to the side there for now. So this is it. This is the HotBin. What a lovely thing. There's a bit of weight to it, and it is really sheltered down this little bit of the garden that we're in now, but it's windy. You know, if you've got a windy site, say there's a bit of weight to it, smashing, good, brilliant, right? I believe from the setup video, we open the lid, nice hinged lid, and straight away we've got a bit of a checklist that tells us all the different pieces that we should have. And I can see that somebody at HotBin has manually gone through and checked this to make sure all the bits are there. You know, in the past with the polytunnel and the greenhouse, we had a little bit of an issue with missing bits or whatnot. Let me just shuffle this back a bit so you can see that the full thing. And it does come with stuff. So let me just bring this out of here. And again, I mentioned hot tub. It's not a hot tub, I'm not getting in there. HotBin's YouTube channel, and there is a video on there about setting it up, and one of the first things it says is to open it up and take your bits and pieces out. I will describe this as a stirring stick, so that's for mixing up your recipe. This is a kickstart bottle. I'll read the instructions to see what I have to do with that, because there's obviously a bit more to it. This is, let me see what this is. This is a thermometer. There you go. Let me just bring that closer to the camera. You can see that. I'll take that out of there in a bit. I'll show you all these bits properly in a minute. This is just to show you how everything's packaged and how everything comes together. We've got the instructions. I'm not a big one for instructions, but I think for this, after I've got all this out of here and I've got it in position, I'm going to give them a quick read, because I think there's a little bit to this, and I want to do this justice. I'm quite excited for this product and quite excited for this project. So I'm going to give them a read, and again, those YouTube videos are brilliant. So we've got some straps here, and again, I've seen it on the product. These get strapped around here. I'll have a read through the instructions and see exactly where they're going to go. There is something else in the bottom, and it's quite heavy. And I'm not entirely sure what this is. I will read the instructions and I will come back to you in just a jiffy. And we're back. And I think the way we're going to play this one out next is we're going to start off the initial recipes. So how we're going to start to get it cooking. And that's pretty important when getting on the go. There's a certain order to put things in and get it mixed up and get it on the go. And then it's just a case of feeding it again and again and again. And you'll be glad to know I've read the instructions and I've had a look through some of the videos again just to sort of refresh myself. And this, the mystery grey bag, this is a bulking agent. There's 25 litres in here and it's wood chips, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to keep this sealed because I've got some other wood chips over here and I'll come to that in a minute. So I'm just going to pop this over to one side, but it does come with a big old bag of bulk and wood chips ready to get things started. So once we've done that, once we've got it all done, bring you over here, we'll have a look around and about it, because there's some funky stuff down here and up here to show you some features that I've not mentioned yet. So we'll come to that just towards the end. Right, let's open this up. First things first, what goes in first? Let me pick these up. We've got some sticks, some twigs, some branches, whatever you want to call them. I'm using, these are old dead raspberry canes that have been cut up, and you want to put them in at the start as your first layer. And that's important. So you've got that layer of sticks in there, those twigs in the bottom there, and that provides you with a layer to allow oxygen and air to sort of circulate around the rest of your ingredients. So if I just put a load of wet ingredients or something in the bottom there, it's just going to go right on the bottom, block up all the holes, and we might end up with a sludgy mess. So putting in that little layer of sticks, branches, whatever you can find in there, that's going to do it absolutely spot on. Ideally, what I would like to put in next is grass cuttings, but like I mentioned at the start of the video, it is Scotland, it is winter, I don't have grass cuttings. What I do have though is more leaves than anybody could ever wish. Those of you who've seen some of the other videos I've done around, honestly, you wouldn't believe the pile of leaves that's just over here off the camera. You can probably see them scattered all the way around. We've got big lime trees down the bottom of the garden here, so I have more leaves than anybody could ever need, but they are great for making compost. So let me just show you here. I scooped these up a couple of weeks ago, so they've probably already started rotting down in the bag. And this is just a compost bag full of leaves, and that's going to be the next lot of stuff that I put in there. I don't think I'm going to put the full bag in just yet, because over the next few days things will settle, things will move down, and I'll add a few more layers on top. Next thing I'm going to add in is some food waste. Now I've got two of these sort of green composty bags here. I'm not going to put the compostable bags in. This one here is vegetable waste. I've got bits of carrot, bits of onion, bits of lettuce, bits of broccoli, and as always I've chopped it up. If you chop things up, they will compost down so much quicker. Spend 5 minutes chopping it up. It will make your life a whole lot easier. So we'll tip that in there. I'll pop this bag just down over here, and we'll use the bag again. It's not going in the bin, it'll get used again. And then I've got some fruit in here, some fruit that I should have eaten that I haven't eaten. We've got grapes, we've got strawberries, we've got some chopped up apples in there. They're all gonna go in. So we're starting to get the basis of a lovely recipe, and the grapes are stuck on the handle. There we go. They're in there as well. So food waste, and that's going to be a bit of a constant while the hot bin's on the go. We'll just keep feeding it with these same ingredients that I'm putting in over the next few weeks, months, years, and I'll just keep feeding it, and hopefully compost will just keep coming out the bottom. The next ingredient that's going in the bin is in here, and we've got shredded paper and torn up cardboard. This is where we start getting into our mix of green and brown materials. So obviously the paper and the cardboard are our brown materials. Again, just some that I've had knocking around the house. Great time of year, isn't it? Christmas, for the old Amazon boxes coming that you can use in here. One thing to remember with your paper and your cardboard, the less shiny it is, the better. If it's really, really shiny, then it's got loads of ink and stuff on it like that, and it could be toxic ink as well. So glossy magazines, shiny ink on boxes, stuff like that, avoid them like the plague. That box there that came with the compost bin to begin with, the hot bin, the ink on it, you can see it's really matte, so it's absolutely fine for that box to be chopped up and used to compost. Avoid glossy material. So we're getting there. There's not much left. Trust me, there's not too much left. I feel like a bit like a chef now, and I'm putting all the ingredients here to make some sort of compost stew, which I guess it kind of what it is. And let me show you these. Those of you who saw the video yesterday, these are wood chips for the allotment where the tree surgeon brings me along. These ones here have been there for a while. Again, they've already started rotting down, which is absolutely brilliant for this. I'm not going to use the full bag again. I'm probably going to use about half this bag. Tip them all in there. Job's a good one. We're down to the final two. Soon we'll be done, but it'll be worth it. This is spent compost. You can see there's some little leggy seedlings in here that I didn't quite get to. Spent compost, and you might be wondering, why on earth are you putting compost in a compost bin? The whole process of composting is because bacteria comes in, breaks everything down, makes it a lovely compost. Spent compost has exactly the bacteria in it that you need to break down the material. So this in here, 3, you know, the little sort of quarter-size seed trays, 3 of them in here, and that's all the compost, spent compost to say, that's going in there, and that's just to kickstart it. That's just to give it a little bit of a kickstart. I'm hardly using any compost at all, and it's spent compost. So putting a little bit of compost in there to begin with, brilliant. So that is very nearly it. We've got one ingredient left, but I'll come to that in a minute. We need to use this. This is I think they call it a rake, but it's, you know, it's a stirring stick. So you can see I've put all the stuff in there in different layers. So what I need to do is get this in, and actually doing this, let me bring the camera over, because this is really quite impressive how this works. So I've now got you attached to the top of the shed, and hopefully you can see this. This is where it all gets sort of mixed up. And this sort of rake thing, it looks dead simple, doesn't it? Just a bit of a sort of stick with a bent end on it, right? And you can just dig it down and pull it up, and you can see how easy it is to get all of these ingredients mixed up and on the go. And it's only really the first time that you do this, that you need to give it a really, really good mix about and a stir. Once you've got it on the go, once you're feeding it from time to time, you don't need to mix it quite as much. And last but not least, the final ingredient, which is this Kickstarter bottle that we had here that was empty and I wondered what it was. You fill it up with warm water and that is gonna get things cooking. So all those ingredients in there, we are gonna cover them in lovely, lovely hot water, and then I'm gonna put the lid down straight away and we're gonna trap that heat in there. So bear with me just a minute. I will come over there, I will grab the camera off the tripod, we'll have a look at this, I'll show you the bits and pieces I've not shown you yet, and we'll get cooking. So here we are, closer up, and you can see we've got a bit of an offering coming out here where I've just put the water in. But speaking of this bit at the bottom here, look, we've got this vent here, this little cap here, and once this settles down and this runoff doesn't come out here, you can collect the runoff through here and use it as a liquid feed, which will be brilliant. This strap here, this is the strap I mentioned before, this is called a cam strap, and it's round this part of the hot bin on purpose because this here, you can see where this line is here. Let me show you that, the line across there. This is the hatch that comes out where you get the compost out of. Once it starts to make compost, it'll bulk up, it'll expand, and it'll push this out. So you've got the strap on here to stop this pushing out. Let's go up to the top of the bin, and on the top we've got a little vent that you can open and close. If it's getting a bit hot, a bit steamy and whatnot in there, you can open that up, let it get some air in there. We've got a thermometer on the top there. Apologies, it is probably covered in water because it is raining, and we can see it's already up to, just now, it's about 15 degrees centigrade or 60 degrees Fahrenheit and climbing. So there's already a bit of heat in there. We've only just started that and it's already cooking, but that's going to be fascinating to watch. Plus we've got that other thermometer that came with it that in a few days time we'll stick in the actual compost bin itself and take a look. And let's just, I'm not going to open the lid for very long, we'll just have a quick sneak peek inside. There's the mix with the water on top of it, looking good inside there. Anyway, if you like what we're up to with the HotBin and want to see how the results go, please think about liking and subscribing. Subscribing is free, it doesn't cost anything. Just click the little button you can see down below. You will subscribe, you can see whether it works, whether it doesn't, how I get on with it, but I'm expecting it to be absolutely brilliant. Let me know in the comments down below what your plans with composting. What do you think of the price of compost? Are you going to buy a HotBin? I think you should, because I think they're wonderful pieces of kit. And if it works out, I'll come back, I'll do a bit of a series of videos on this actually, so watch out for more coming on this. We'll do a bit of a regular update on the HotBin, maybe it's in about other videos, maybe it's videos by itself, and we'll see just how quickly it can make HotBin. And bearing in mind, I've said before, we're winter in Scotland here at the moment, so it's a bit cold and it's only going to get colder, so we'll see just how effective it is. But I'm really excited for this project. Anyway, that is me done for today. Look out down below, all the details, all the stuff about HotBin, all the things you can buy, all their website, all that sort of stuff, links to their channel and whatnot in the description down below. Go and take a look. Please have a look and let me know what you think. Anyway, that's me definitely done for today. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.